Hi everyone, another Agile video from me, Alex Crossley. This one's going to be about cadence, and really when we're thinking about cadence, it's kind of one of those Agile practices which just makes common sense. It doesn't really have to work with just Agile, but it just makes sense. And let me tell you a real story. So I've been playing the guitar for about 25 years. And I think I'm sort of half decent on the guitar, but I've always played by myself. And I learned when I went to play with a band recently, it doesn't matter how good I am as an individual, I have to be in rhythm with everyone else. I have to be in tune, of course, but I have to be in rhythm with everyone else. And if I'm not in rhythm with everyone else, it messes everybody else up, and it also makes me not sound very good. And that's kind of what cadence and rhythm brings. In an organization, by being in cadence with everybody else, it means you can work more effectively beyond just your individual. And then if you go sort of broaden that out, beyond just your team working really well, it can work well within the organization. And cadence brings that. Now, it's particularly useful when you're working agile because we don't live in a world where every project's an individual silo. It can have its own set of dates. We try and fix dates. And we fix dates and we make sure we manage the scope. And so all of our additional effort and all the money that we normally put into project management and all of that kind of orchestration, we don't put into looking after the budget and the resources and the time, because those are fixed. Instead, we spend that money on quality and getting the scope right. Let me go and compare the traditional way of working with the agile way of working. So let's have a look at waterfall. Here's your usual waterfall cascade on a sort of Gantt chart with the different stages, quite big stages each one. And you might be looking at a timeline of about a year in front of you. But there's never just one project running in an organization. In fact, I'm only going to draw 4 up and show how complicated it gets. So you have 4 projects here. Top one's starting at the beginning. This one's starting in a few weeks. This one, the third one's already going, and the last one doesn't start until halfway through the year. And they've all got individual dates. They've got these important dates all along, and they're all just scattered. There's no real pattern to that. What else all these projects do is they all have their own meetings. So if you're wondering about why you've got so many meetings in your organization, think about how many projects you've got and how many project meetings you have to go to. I'm going to do a video on ceremonies, and you'll see the importance of that. But there's no alignment here between them. They're all working on their own. They're all playing their own tune, quite ignorant of one another. Then there's the big meetings, and these really do mess up with other projects. So these big stage gates that they go through, and they create these big meetings. It's really, 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 really disorganized when you think of this at scale. And so Cadence brings something in that can really work at scale. So there's periods in the time frame here, this period here that I've just mentioned, where there's a release going on, where really all these other projects are going to suffer massively, all because of one project going through a release in the middle of two big things for the top one. So Cadence fixed that. So in Agile, we fix time. So we have the same projects, there's the same timeline here, but instead of breaking it down into these are my important steps, we do these little iterations. And we say every 2 weeks there's a cadence. So we can put our meetings in cadence. So we only have meetings every other Wednesday for project work. And they all go into the same backlog and everybody has the same meeting. By having this cadence, it just means everyone's working, so you get some time where you do creativity time and then head down working time. So delivery time. And those two mindsets are important to consider. They're different. You can have both. You can be creative and you can do delivery, but not at the same time. So you need a cadence to promote that. You can also put your big meetings in cadence. You can also put your releases in cadence. So you start to do this, you start to all orchestrate together, and you all start to work like a big brass band, all working. And it means everybody has to do it. But it really, really works. Everyone's in rhythm through the whole organization. And that's cadence. That's implementing good cadence. I hope you found that interesting. If you want to find out more information, check my website. Loads of information there. Thanks for listening.